And good morning, everyone. So sorry about the delay in doing this video. I've had an incredibly busy couple of weeks, and it's also been extremely hot. So it's taken me a little bit, and as you can see, had some projects going on. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But as you can see, definitely got some success on these tomatoes. These plants are doing really, really good. Now with these guys here, I'm really starting to think that these are not the mortgage lifters that I was told they were. Primarily, you'll see, because of their shape. I'm pretty positive these are actually Oxheart, which is fine. I wanted to grow just a variety. I wasn't really specific, which varieties or anything like that. Really, I just wanted a few different kinds. So it's fine. I've actually got this plant back here too. Pretty soon it'll be tall enough that I can reach it over here to my new little trellis set up here. This string that I had back here, this stuff was not, it would have been good for like the cucamelons, which it's actually is working really well for. But the tomatoes are just too heavy, and it was getting to the point where it was kind of starting to pull away a little too much, and I was afraid it was going to break. So that's why I moved this over to this large trellis. Some of my flowers over here that I planted are starting to bloom too, and they are just super, super pretty. My sunflowers, my teddy bears, which are some of my favorite because they're just, look at them, they're so fluffy. And the corn is doing just astounding. I did have a couple of little scares with some wind and stuff that we had. I was afraid it was going to blow over, but it held up fine. It did bend a little bit, but it straightened itself back out, so I'm not too worried. I'm definitely going to plant it like this again. Yeah, the stalks didn't get super tall, but I had a lot more success with them this way than I did last year when I didn't plant as many and they weren't as close. I had a lot that fell over, blew over, didn't really produce, so I'm probably definitely going to go with this method again next year because, it's worked out really well. You can see that I've got some ears forming. Another couple back here. And another one down here. Oh, hi, Daddy Longlegs. Here. Here. It's doing really well. I'm very, very pleased with how it's doing this year. Over here, my little tomato plant. This actually, I don't know if anybody remembers. I'm actually going to pull this out of here when I'm done filming. This is a branch that broke off of this cherry tomato plant here. So what I did is I put it just in a jug of water because I didn't want it to really spend time putting energy trying to root. I just wanted it to ripen what was on here. And this is the last little straggler. But there was a whole bunch on here, and we got 90% of what was on here to ripen and got it off. So we didn't have that waste, which was really great. This whole plant is just about done. There's no more growth, no more offshoots. Right now it's just all into ripening. What's left on here. And then that'll be that for this, and I'll pull this guy out. And I've got some cuttings going to put in its place of the larger variety, which is the big boy tomatoes, which, yeah, I already have 2 plants, but I mean, they were suckers, why not? My cucumbers are doing really, really good. They're finally starting to really set some fruit, and everything's really looking good and healthy. I mean, you guys see that it's climbing up really high. Here, let me block the sun a little bit for you. And even here on the other side, I'm getting my white cucumbers setting. This one there, the little guy down there, you know, and these guys over here are coming in really good. Got another here. So, get some more white ones starting there. My bell peppers, they're doing really, really good. This guy's finally starting to set some fruit. This is the one I was actually kind of worried about, but he's doing pretty good. Jalapeno peppers over here. My melons. Kajari's not quite tall enough yet to get up to this panel, which is one of the other projects that I had. I put up this cattle panel here for the melons, and they're climbing up it really good. I've actually got one fruit setting. We're starting to set somewhere over here. It was over here somewhere. See if I can find it. See if I can find it. There it is. And I also planted, I don't know if anybody saw my social media posts, but I did also start some beans. I figured I'd give it a try. These are the dragon tongue bush beans. I actually have some more hanging out over here and over here as well. And I did plant some along in here. And these in this planter are the cave pole beans. So I'm real excited about those to start kind of taking off and see what they do. This is my California Wonder pepper plant too that I haven't shown in a while because I honestly thought it was going to die. But it is starting to set some fruit, so we'll see what happens with that guy. Here's my other bell pepper. This is my yellow bell pepper. And it's got some pretty good sized fruits going on and setting more. So I'm really happy about that. Hey guys, so I wanted to just be able to kind of give you guys a little bit of scale on my sunflowers. So hi, nice to meet you. This is the first time that I'm actually in one of my videos. But I am 5'7". My sunflowers, as you can see, with me standing at the same level that they were planted at, are now, if I can do this without blinding you guys with the sun, are now considerably taller than I am. So these guys are doing fantastic. It's been a little while since you guys have seen these too, so I figured I would walk around front and give you guys a check-in on how my peppermint, my lemon balm, my spearmint, and my sweet mint are doing. Sweet mint's starting to look a little gangly, but that's alright, it'll bounce back. So those are my mints. There's not really a whole lot to report with them. My mints and my lemon balm and all that. I mean, they're plugging away. My lemon balm's actually starting to flower. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. I don't know. There they are. So that's kind of exciting. I did actually start some seeds in here. I put them in paper towel, got them damp, and put them in my fridge for like a week. And then I put them in here and put some of the soil over it. And as you can see, starting to get little sprouts to fill this this grow bag out. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to report in the front yard. My strawberries have, we can take a walk over here. My strawberries have stopped producing. It's been a while. I haven't weeded out here in a while. My bad, guys. I do need to come out and do that soon. But yeah, my strawberries, I'm pretty sure it was a June bearing variety. So we pretty much only got a couple early June, and then that was it. And this, I grew this too. This is my son Max. He's making his own video, apparently, with his Lego phone. He's very, very creative and a lot of fun. What are you doing, Goober? Come on, we're going to go back to the back. Can you say hi? Ha. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was this, that we actually just put up yesterday. I was going to do a garden tour yesterday. We decided to put this up instead and save it for today, which is, you know, the same day that you're going to be seeing this. I mean, really, this wasn't that difficult to put up. All it took us was 3 6-foot T-posts, some zip ties, and 1.5 cattle panels. And we only needed the 3 T-posts because actually over here, we already had this T-post set up. So that's what we tied into because it was already there. So we only needed the 3 other T-posts to do this corner and this corner here, and then this over here. These ties here are not permanent. We just got to get some more zip ties and wire, and then we're gonna really get this attached in here super, super good. But we've got decent weather, so we're not really worried about it going anywhere. But I mean, basically all we did was put up both of these sides, and then once these sides were both attached to these T-posts, what we did, hang on, let me turn this around. What we did is we just came in with some zip ties and put them along the top on this one side, and then had this piece was down, kind of leaning up against this a little bit here, and then we just pushed it up. I held it up here while my boyfriend came through and put the zip ties on the side to hold it up. Hang on, let me turn you guys back around. And the other thing I want to bring up, because this is obviously taller than me, I can reach. I would like just to point this out before I make my next statement. I was given a little bit of a hard time. My boyfriend asked me, he's like, well, how are you supposed to get up there without standing on something to get the tomatoes to train across the top, which I've already started to do right here. And I just looked at him and I said, well, I got my grabbing hook. And he looked at me and he's like, what's a grabbing hook? So I showed him this. It is from the dollar store. And I think it's clever. All I have to do is come through here, reach up, gently grab the tomato, tie it off there, and then we're good. I thought it was clever. But back to the actual garden tour. As you guys will notice, I moved my Roma tomato over here so it can grow up here. This is a determinate, so this will only go so far, and then that'll be all that we got. So after this grows out and gives me what it's going to give me for fruit, I'll pull this out of here, maybe replace it with something else depending on you know, how much time is left in the growing season when this thing finishes up, or, you know, just remove it. Whichever works out better. I did move my super sweet 100 cherry tomatoes and the early girl tomatoes over here. You know, I thought it would be better for them to be over here because the other tomatoes, I mean, these guys aren't growing super fast. If anybody wants to let me know if that is just part of these two varieties, because the early girl, like, they're all about at the same place. They are already putting on flowers. The early girl's actually got a fruit starting to set on it, which is great. But if anybody wants to let me know in the comments if, you know, this is common for these ones to kind of take this long. I bought these guys a while ago now, and they haven't really done a whole lot. I'm wondering if maybe it was the spot, so that's why I moved them over here. This spot does get a little bit more sun, not a whole lot more. So moving them over here shouldn't really shock them or anything like that. So that's what I'm hoping for, is a little bit more sun. Will do them some good. Then over here, I still have this basil in here going strong. Super strong, actually. It's doing super, super well. I have my parsley over here that I actually reseeded not all that long ago. It's poking up. It's coming in. So I'm really happy about that. I got to get in here and weed just a little bit. I mean, over here by the basil is mostly just grass, so we'll take care of that. So that's really not too bad in here for weeding, but parsley is coming up good. So I'm really happy about that. That was the little sprig that I had left because it hadn't really been doing much, so I just left that hanging out there. So that's that. But guys, I mean, that's about it. I'm not growing a whole ton. And that's pretty much the walkthrough. Oh, wait. Forgot my husky cherries. Now the same thing. I moved this guy over here. Oh, I think he's already going to be happy. This, for people who don't know, because I didn't realize it till I really started growing tomatoes, they will grow super, super fast when they're in a spot that they like. Now, this guy was over in that spot yesterday. Yesterday, when I moved him, he did not have any of this. Like this, he was up to there. That was it. And now there is all this today. So I definitely think moving this dude to this spot was the right call, because obviously is doing a whole lot better. So that is absolutely awesome to see. But back to my original, where I was going with this. I think this is about it for this particular tour. I've shown you pretty much everything that I've still got going. My cauliflower is pretty much all pulled up. We did get to eat some of that, not a whole bunch, but we did get to eat some. This dude here, surprisingly, for the heat that we've had, is, I mean, still going. I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to let it go to seed, and I'm going to save the seed. So this one's not getting picked. This I'm going to allow to go to seed. It's the only brassica that, you know, I've got growing right now, so there's no cross-pollination. My nearest neighbor who gardens is, you know, about 150 yards up the street, so I'm not really worried about that. Hey everybody, my son came back out. He would like to say goodbye.
Bye.
Say bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
And now he's hiding. But that looks like that is going to be about it, guys, for this particular garden tour. Thank you guys for joining me, and hopefully I'll get back into the regular swing of posting once a week. All right, I hope everybody has a wonderful day.